Hi, this is Tracey from Mindless Crafting, and today we're going to be using our newest digi. It's called Write Your Own Story, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to show you how to make a simple but elegant card using this stamp set. So let's get started. I'm going to be using this particular image here. We're going to make a card similar to this one right here. Look how gorgeous that is once you put the color on it. So I really want you to see this. Like right underneath it is, I used one of my punches, and it's a border punch. So here's what it looks like once you punch it out. Okay, so I'm just putting that white border on white, and it just gives it a nice background. Looks like it's almost die cut. So we're going to really have fun with this card, and you're going to be so fascinated at how quickly it comes together. So one of the nice things about working with digitals is that you can resize them however you want. You could also make different scenes with them. And so even though this is like the original for our ad, on here, I just resized it the way I thought I would like it to be. So if you notice, this is little bit bigger than this one. So you can go either smaller or larger with that. And of course you hear my doggy barking. And so even with this one, this is larger. I want a little bit smaller so that it can fit on my card, but you can make it really tiny if you want. Same thing with the sentiments. And look at these adorable glasses. Okay, you can go whichever size. You can make it really, really small. So you get to really control how you want your card to look. There's the beautiful pen, and look what that looks like, that pen. Look how cute that is. Is that not adorable with all the texture? So I'm going to take you through how I would color these in, and then we're going to do our card. We're going to color this one in first. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to use this flower layout, like the flower coming out of the book. Then I'm going to use one of these pens. I'll color that in. And I'm not sure on the sentiment yet, but that's okay. So I've got this blue, which looks almost like a greenish color. So this is the way my card is going to look. So we're going to do it horizontal, like that. And that's really going to tie in some of the colors. So what I like to do when I'm starting this, I'm going to use my Adaxi markers, and I think I'm going to use my Nuvo as well as the Master's Touch. So they're all alcohol markers. And that one's just a little bit too dark. I just like to make sure that I'm getting the color that I want. So I like that, the way that one looks. And so we're going to do the bottom of the book in that blue color. And if you notice with this stamp set, it's already has the texture and as well as the lines already done for you with the shading. So you don't have to do a whole lot. Just have fun with it. And so you can color in the pages if you want. I am going to leave my pages white. I think that looks really good just the way it is. Leave the pages white. Maybe just do that bottom part there. And that's going to go really well with the blue border right here. So one of the things I love doing is coloring. Okay, and one of the things I really like to do is color flowers. So I'm going to take this green, this Nuvo color here. This is 413. These are the Adaxi markers, and this is 67 pastel blue. And look what I did. Chipped my nail polish. So don't get the nail polish police after me, okay? My nails were doing good all day until I decided to record, right? But it's okay. It's what happens with crafters' nails. So I'm just going in here, and look at the shading already does a lot of the work for you. So I'm going to be fussy cutting this out, and I want to show you how I fussy cut it, because some of you may say, you know what, too much lines, too much stuff for me to fussy cut, but you don't have to do a whole lot of work. I'm going to show you how easy that is. So sometimes you want to cut out some of the fussy cutting when I'm recording a video, but I really don't have to do that for this. I need to leave that in so you can see. So I'm just going in and doing the leaves and the stems. And of course my doggie wants to get in the craft room. That's the big doggie, Strawberry. And she was sleeping comfortably, and once I hit record, there she is. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this over here. And don't be too hard on yourself about your coloring. It's going to look good. Remember when we were kids and we colored? All we did, we just got our crayons and started coloring. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of yellow on here. So I'm thinking the lemon drops, some of the flowers will be yellow. Some of them will be maybe blue. I'll see if I want to put some blue in there. Maybe I'll go back and put some of that blue in there. I think my flowers can be blue, right? This is Lemon Drops 401. And this is the Nuvo alcohol marker. And I'll put the information of what printer I use to print out my digitals. I love my Eco Tank because I can print out a lot, and it works well for the business, but it also works out if you have a lot of heavy color that you're wanting to print out too. That looks so pretty. Okay, so I got a little bit of yellow over here, a little over here, some over here. Let's break this up a little bit. I'm going to do this larger flower. In yellow. So the nice thing is you get to do whatever you want with this. It's a yellow here. So I got 1, 2, 3. Let me go ahead and switch off and get some of that blue in here. Let's see if I got the right blue. Nope. It's this one right here. Yep, pastel blue. And let's go ahead and color some of this in. This is going to look really, really pretty. Especially when you put that border in there. And that border, actually I forgot to show you what punch it is. Here's the border punch. It's an EK Tools. And I believe it's called Starflower or something like that. I'll put the link for this below. But I believe it's called Starflower. I think. But I will make sure it goes in the description box. And since I've been cleaning up my craft room, I'm finding all of my punches and things that I've bought from years ago. Look how pretty that is. Now you can decide in the middle of the flower if you want to alternate and put some blue inside the middle. You can do that. All right? This is what art is all about. You can choose whatever colors you want to color your flowers. I think you can use this for birthdays too, but to write your own story. How beautiful is that? And what will you say if you had to write your own story. It's just like, you know, coloring. What colors would you use? Because it's your project, so you can choose. Just like you choose to write your own story, you can choose your own colors. And I think what I'm going to do is, like in here, I'm going to go in with a little bit of yellow. So imagine the amount of cards you can make using this. I mean, this, if you want, this can fill up the whole page if you want. So when you're adjusting it, I use Pages to resize my digitals. So whatever program you use to resize your digitals, you can make them as large or as small as you want. And they don't lose the way they look. Like, so they'll expand in proportion. How pretty is that so far? That's looking really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me put a little bit of yellow in there. Just like this. This is a gorgeous one too. I'll have to show you a card I did with this one as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I cut this out. So I'm going to use my cutter bees because there's a little bit more getting in between these little crevices, but it's not as hard as you think. So what I normally do for something like this is just cut around it first. And you could use your larger scissors for that. Or if you want, you can do a rectangle and then cut it out. But I want to add dimension. Even though this looks dimensional on here, I still want to add dimension to it. So before I do that though, let me go ahead and color in my, let's see, do I want to have glasses on this one? I did cut out some tiny glasses. Let's see. I do have one printout that I did do some little tiny glasses. I might be able to fit these on there. Not sure yet though. So just in case, I'll just go ahead and color the glasses anyway. Glasses are pretty easy. I didn't want to use these big ones because I know it won't fit on my page with all the other stuff. So I'm going to use the smaller one. See how much smaller that one is? That's what I'm going to use. And I don't know, I may end up putting this on the inside too. But look at the beautiful, I call these butterfly glasses. And you don't have to do this. You don't have to color in the frames. If you want to leave it like a grayish, you can. If you just want to leave it white, you can just leave it white. It's up to you, but I thought to make it fun, I would color in with this yellow to match. So that's my next one. And then I think I'm going to do the pen. Let me bring this one back in. And we have to write our own story, so we need a pen, right? So let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to use a little bit of the blue. And I'll use a little bit of the yellow, and that will tie it in too. And you don't have to color in the whole thing, okay? There's no rule that says, oh, I have to color in every part of, you can leave the white space, and the white space really does add something to it. Sometimes less is more, right? So right around this little clamp here, And I'm coloring, notice I'm coloring in two, but I only need one. Just a habit, right? Okay, so I'm just giving that a little bit of color. Just going right along these little marks here. So now you've got your yellow and you got your blue. So now I can go back and take the yellow, and so you can see what it looks like on this one. And right along here, and that's what the yellow one looks like. So now I can pick and choose, and maybe I want to put maybe a little yellow along here. And maybe I want to put some yellow here, or I could have put blue. Just have fun with it. See, right along here, and maybe a little blue on that side. How cute. Just going a little bit there, a little bit right there, just going right along the edges there. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this one right here. I don't know, something about that one really jumps out. Very easy to cut out. Super easy. And of course I'm going to have white scraps, but that's okay because I could always use the white scraps. I just like saving them, and I could stamp out on some of those as well. Very easy. Very easy to cut. Okay. Got that one. Let's move some of this out of the way. We'll go back and get a sentiment. Okay, so that's what the pen looks like. And cut out these adorable glasses. And you can make these, imagine making these really like larger and then putting little pearls. Those like flat back pearls on those. Would that not look super cute? So you notice how I'm cutting these out, right? So these are easy. The other one is, you'll see how easy it is to cut the flower and the book out as well. Okay, so now if you want, you could actually cut out these flowers and make these dimensional. So that's just another thing you can do. So it's just up to you. But I'm going to just take everything and make the whole book and all dimensional. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut, but I'm not cutting right on the line. You don't have to stress yourself out trying to cut on the line. See that? Just kind of barely go around it. You don't have to go all the way up under it, and it's going to look fabulous. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want dimension on this card. And it's so well worth it. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can just cut around it and use it right on your card, right? Just leave it as a square or rectangle. Add your sentiment, and you're good to go. But I like to be a little bit, I like dimension, so, and I'm in no rush. See that? Right around there. Come right back up. Go right around there. Back up. I can't wait to see y'all create using this digi. For me, fussy cutting is therapy. It's almost like when you're like crocheting, for me, but it's not everybody's thing. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I love it. Okay, so now, just gonna kind of line this up on here so that we could see what it's gonna look like, right? And see what sentiment I'm going to use. So we've got, I think I'm gonna use Write Your Own Story, but we do have The Journey Continues, Live Your Best Life, Testimony, You're Not Done Yet. You're not done yet. And we also have Make It Happen, Remember. Okay, so you have a ton of sentiments. I think these are good for journaling too. This is a good journaling stamp. So I'm going to do the Write Your Own Story. And you can put this in a trimmer. I'm not going to use the trimmer. I'm just going to cut it, you know. I'm just going to cut it like this. And then use my corner rounder. Just round those edges. As long as it can fit on here, that'll be great. And it looks like it will fit. Looks like it'll fit. So let's get that blue or yellow. I think I'm going to use the blue. And just go around this a little bit. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so it's time to put everything together. Okay, so I like to trim a bunch of these in advance, and these are so, look how gorgeous that looks. Oh my goodness, how beautiful is that? And we're going to just place it like right here. Let me show you how to use that punch. Okay, so say you have a bunch of white paper, right? Okay, so I have one here. I'll just use this one because I like to have a bunch of these cut up already. Okay, so there are some lines like, oops, excuse me, right in here. There's some lines. See those? I'm not sure if you can see that right there. So all I do is I just put this in here, right up against the edge there. And it's easier for me to use it from this angle. And that way I can be right up to the edge. And then I press it down. Okay, and look at that. So now, right here up to that angle, here it is again. Sometimes I can't always see it. So what I do is I just put this right up to here. See, it's not fitting over the flower. So I make sure I pull it over until it's fitting right under the flower. Just like that. So if I move it here, you can already tell it's not fitting under the original flower. But if I move it over here, just slightly, then I press down again, and that helps to line it up. That's just the way I do it. You may have a different technique, but for me it's just a little bit easier for me to do it like this. You know, let's just do one more since we're here. Sorry for the noise. Is that not well worth it? Oh my goodness. Just completely transforms the paper. And then what I do is I just cut this off just a little bit there so I can glue it on. Okay, so that's just a little lesson in how to use that. A lesson you may not want it, but somebody out there probably has that same punch and is not sure how to use it to get it to line up. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on it, and then I'm just going to glue it down on that side, and then we're going to do another trim on that side. And I want that white on white. I want it to look like that. But you don't have to. If you want to take one of the colored papers and just put it like that, look at that. Look how pretty that is. So it's up to you. It's up to you what you want to do. Okay, so let me just cut this to size. I'm going to use my regular measuring like this. Hold it up to the paper and cut, right? That's the way I measure. So this may be a little bit too short for that side, but it's okay. I might put something over it, or I may just use another one. Let's go ahead and, I could use that for something else. Let's use another one since I have so many. A good way to use up your white paper scraps, right? Yeah, that'll fit. Okay, let's get our glue out, and hopefully it will work, right? I'm just putting little spots of glue on here. Just little spots here and there. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue it right down like that. And try not to use too much glue, but this will dry clear, so I'm okay with that. Just like that. All right. And it just gives the illusion that you embossed your paper, right? Look at that. I love it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start adding it on our images. Look how pretty that's going to look. Look at that. Okay, so of course I'm going to use some mounting tape. I mean, you could sit all day, a rainy day, and just make your cards, right? Make such pretty cards. This would make a great birthday card. Just change out the sentiment. Or if you want to motivate someone, you know, write your own story. Okay, so let's go ahead and, oh, before I do that, let me put this, before I even do that, let me go ahead and put this on here. Glue that down. So it has that nice little border to it. And this is an A2 size card. And all I do when I'm adding, like, I just cut in 1/4 of an inch. So if this is 5.5 by 4 1/4, all I do is I cut each of the papers in each cardstock, like the next layer 1/4 of an inch, and then this layer 1/4 of an inch, so that it gives it that border. You just get a little bit smaller. That way everything will line up. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one as well. Okay, look at that. Look how pretty that is. And look, so this way, again, you can do it this way too. So either way, it looks beautiful. And then let's add in the main thing here. Like the book is blossoming, right? Somebody out there is probably writing a book right now, and it's blossoming. And then I'll take my pen and put it right to the side there like that. How pretty is that? And then I want to have just a little bit of dimension so it's not laying too flat. Just going to cut a little sliver. Right here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and a little bit down like right here on the edge because I want that to be sticking onto the book. But I don't want it to be flat, if that makes sense. So just like that, curving off there, adding a little bit of dimension to it. And see, look how cute that looks already. And you're going to write your own story. But yeah, you can, there's so many color combinations you can use for this. I'm over here wrestling with this tape, y'all, but don't mind me. Okay. Let's take this off. And I'm just going to stick that at an angle right there. And then if I want, I could add my glasses in here like reading a book, right? Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Or I can add my little gems. I think I'm going to add the glasses on here this time. Let's see. Do I want to give that dimension or do I want to go flat on the glasses? I'm going to go flat on the glasses. Okay, and so on the inside, we can take that other pen we'll take this other pen and we're going to add it on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and we'll be right back. Okay, so we have our pen here. And we could just put it on the inside. And you could do it on either side. It's just up to you. You could do it over here, kind of like that side. And then you can take this and glue it on the inside. Write your own story. You're not done yet, right? As long as you have breath in your body, you're not done yet. You have more chapters to write. And look how adorable that came out. Now, another thing, just to add another enhancement, you can get some of your gems. And you can embellish this. I have a few more green ones, so I'm going to pop some green in there. Right there. Oops. That is a lot of glue, huh? No one's going to see it once it dries. Had a little bit of gem on here. Look how beautiful that turned out. Let me show you the other cards, y'all. So you got this one. You've got this one. Oh yes, and I forgot to tell you, we're gonna have to add some glossy accents on the middle of this. Almost forgot about that. Or you can drop some on the glasses to make it shine a little bit, right? You can so do that. So the lenses look like they're shining. Okay, look how pretty. The pen is just slightly larger on this one. But look how pretty that is when you change up the color. Here's another one. How gorgeous is that? And using the other image, this one right here, look at that. Okay, let's do a side by side before and after. How pretty is that? And larger on the pen again. I printed out the pen larger. I resized it. Write Your Own Story is larger as well. Okay, and here's another one. So many different colors that you can do with these. Look how pretty. Using that same border, I just bordered both sides of the paper. And look how pretty with that soft, soft green in that background. How pretty. And the purple. So it all ties together. Let me show you. Did I do anything? I can't remember if I did anything with that one. Let's see. Simple sentiment, but I could always go back in and put something else in there. Same with this one. I think I remember doing sunglasses. Oh, this one I did the sunglasses. Just something fun, right? So just have fun with these. Have fun doing these. Use the glossy accents again on the middle of the flower. So that's what it would look like. Now these take a little bit longer to dry, so you want to be very, very careful with this. And I don't squeeze it right directly onto the paper yet until I know I have a good flow on it. So sometimes I use my pen because sometimes it does get clogged. So let me just do a little bit over here. Let's see. Just to unclog it a little bit. And that looks so good with that little bit of what Bill calls the juicy stuff. He has his own name for everything. But look how pretty that is. So you need to give it a little bit to dry. I usually just put it aside for 30 minutes and then it's dry when I come back. So I hope you were inspired by this. This was so much fun. I do have one where I colored in everything. It's the Write Your Own Story digi stamp. If you're not familiar with digi stamps, we do have some videos on how to manipulate them and how to print them out. But once you learn, you're going to want to do a ton of these. Okay, and here's the other one. Here's the one that I colored in. So just another way to do these. There's 11 PNG images in this particular set. But look how beautiful that looks. Oh my goodness. And of course, my dog is telling me, Mom, it's time to feed me. So y'all, I hope you were inspired by this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're going to give this a try. Hopefully you learned some new techniques with this. And I will put everything below this video for you so that you can get some of those products if you choose to. All right, y'all. Y'all take care, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.